Omega.
Ah, yeah.
Hero for Mr. Renegade.
Oh, but if they ban out the Kufra, then it'll be a much easier day for a Joe.
Ooh.
Oh, they read the Terizla.
Okay.
Okay.
I still really feel like this might be a Rome Edith for Renegade because he played it so well yesterday. It's one of the reasons why they won the series.
Yeah.
They play well around it. If they wanna be safe, they might even consider picking up a Baksha for themselves.
All right.
Yeah.
Baksha would be good. And we know that Sensui can play that, definitely play that hero.
Yeah.
The worst case probably is maybe they saw the Echo game and maybe think about Akai as a good hero.
Ah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
that too.
very movement speed based kind of heroes. Yeah, you also have the Martes still, which in combination with the Bruno and the Valentina is still pretty strong. But of course, that's the Baksha. Well done. Well
I am
done.
honored to be here with you guys right now because that is just completely on the right predictions onto this draft. You have that sustain. They have that big, beefy boy.
Yep.
I will admit this is why I love being with Wolf. I said the Baksha, but in my head I was like, how do I explain this again? I think Wolf can. And he did.
All right.
That is so good.
264th game. And he might be playing his 264th game with maybe an Eve to close this out because it still
Eve is
makes
banned.
sense.
Eve is banned.
That's right. Oh, Eve is banned.
Yeah, it was the first
What
phase
do you
ban.
play with for Rebo now? What do you play for Rebo
Chango?
now?
Lilia?
Chango. Kadira, perhaps?
Yeah, it's open still.
No, it's banned.
Oh,
Does this fit the doctor?
He did play it before.
Yeah, he did play it before. And he is the doctor for a
He's the
reason.
doctor.
Okay, that is exciting.
All right.
We see him fix things. We see him diagnose things even in the game. So that's trusted with the doctor.
I wonder if they're considering Esme or Lapu here. Because I
Esmeralda's
agree with OSX
Okay.
consideration of the Lapu.
Oh, like I definitely love the Esmeralda now. Imagine, like, this is an Edward special anyways.
He just has to watch out for in lane against the matchup of Paquita. But once they start grouping up, once it's 5v5, Esmeralda's super happy.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. Will Esmeralda, will it be the Lapu Lapu for Edward?
How about Valir for... okay, it's Kufra. The Renegade Kufra. Okay.
Wait.
Nice
So,
call. They switch it up.
Explain Edith.
Okay. Fair, you have unlimited, well, onward and suplexes.
Technically speaking,
fine.
it's still a one-shot against the marksman because you're still ranged. You can actually auto-attack that and easily take out the marksman. But it's not an instant one-hit knockoff. It's not an instant OHKO because normally you would look for Lapu Lapu and maybe the Pakiro. You can immediately take out the Beatrix like easily. With Edith, you kind of have to ramp up a little bit. You have to take in some damage before you're able to fully utilize your ultimate. It's an interesting match decision coming up from Blacklist International.
Well, this is the match that we've been waiting for this weekend. Now, as we start and head on to this game, you're seeing the composition, you're seeing the lineup, and this is one of the things that we're expected. We were looking at different parts of how this draft will go. Well, let's head on to the game. It's game number one. It's Blacklist International versus Sport Omega for their first meetup in the season.
Some of the names may have changed, but you cannot deny the history between these two. And it's fantastic that it's rare to see this, where it's the gold laners focused for our first opening split screen.
It's Oheb versus Kelra. This is a special match that we are about to witness. And look at how Sensui just prioritized more to move near Kelra as of the second.
Oh, Rebo might get caught out here. Actually, already forced to use the flicker out. That's great news for Blacklist International.
This is so Omega. I mean, honestly, Rebo is not the first player in Omega to actually play the position for Angela. Etomax played that before.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised about the amount of damage that the Angela can put up from the mid lane role.
But how is this? Like, is the emblem build right now something different on how they approach this match? Is there any different from Omega or Blacklist International right now?
I guess if you are the Angela as a position 5, you could go Foxy Mark, but he went for Impure Rage for more poke and magic.
Terrified suplex and comboed by Blacklist International. First blood of this legendary rivalry goes to Blacklist.
Wow, and the first point, you hear the crowd roar. Going back to that rotation, does this change something out of this Angela You get more of the pokes, yes, but it also prepares you to get more of your magic items, right?
That's true, but because you're mid lane, you want to output the damage. That's the idea here for Omega.
Alright, Sui going in for the invade. Andori getting pressured here. So no clear winner there. Andori was able to secure it for himself, so that's good news for Omega. First turtle of the game spawns.
Okay, now the first objective is up. More of the coverage is Blacklist International is doing against Omega. Edward slowly reaching level 4, and now they have more area for this first objective.
Ultimates across the board. Yota going to be going in. Ready? Jay finds the target. Suplex, full combo onto Andoriu, and that is a sure turtle for Blacklist International.
Wow, Renee J back at his tracks. And on the opposite side, you may not see this, but actually, OHEB has a 200 gold lead over Kelra at this point. Even after that wave is cleared out, OHEB has a lead in the gold lane.
Yeah. And they have fought for 30 games already. 30 games they face each other in.
Thank you so much for that trivia. We're looking at the history of how these two laners build up their career and on this momentum. That was a catch by Renegade, and having those angles and having those targets right on those objectives changes so much in Smart Omega's composition into reverse or counter team fights against Blacklist International.
This is one of my favorite things to do as a Valentina, by the way. If I'm up against a Karina or a Martis, I'm taking their ultimates.
Yeah.
It's just an extra thing that for my opponents to worry about. By the way, get one of 4 skins for free in our Nostalgia event.
Yeah, that's right. One of the 4.
Yeah, just like our match, even the players here are so nostalgic to see that they're back in the game.
It is.
It is. And OHEB now leading by a lot. They might even deny that gold lane card into the bottom lane. And Kelra, you see, he's playing so far back, knowing that there's a massive lead for Blacklist International, and then there's a backshed that can easily get into that lane. He's not overextending, but that might be bad. He now calls in Chaknu because he needs someone to support him into the bottom lane for sure.
I may be misremembering things, but I remember watching a Kelra stream before, and he acknowledged that there's not a lot of heroes that give Beatrix a hard time.
Yeah.
I may be misremembering, but I think he did say that, oh, I don't like going against Bruno that much when I'm playing Beatrix. And that was months ago.
Well, I think right now, if you have an influence of Renegade, yeah, Shriganibity either. Look at that. Kelra.
Yeah, good land and
Some
snipe
pokes.
though. And also the pokes. We're seeing a different approach here. Has Kelra wants to clear more of his lane. He has a safe way of entering these kinds of threats since there's a lot of rotations coming in from Blacklist International. And I said this is one way to hold his own lane. Because most of the parts, he also wants his team to be activated as well. But nobody's contesting it. Smart Omega.
Small nugget, one of the benefits of being Beatrix is, look what Kelra did. He sniped the Crammer and then get out of the range of the Crammer. It's a way to check if there's someone actually near you. And you see, Renegade was spotted, technically speaking, in that moment because the Crammer went to the bush instead of towards the Beatrix.
Across that play, Chaknu gets the divine judgment onto OHEB and Ryota. Takes him out. That is a trade committed there by Blacklist International. They will get the marksman in the bottom lane as the turtle will go to the side of Blacklist International. But Renegade and Haji have found Chaknu and Ryota. And that is going to be the clap back in with the Tyrant's Rage coming in from Renegade. Taking out Ryota, and Chaknu might be next on the dock. Can they take down the Mamba? Yes, they do.
Completely in sequence. Smart Omega just fall back, and Blacklist International completely getting their hands in a faster rotation for reinforcements. That kill on OHEB games been so much space to even move around quicker, Wolf.
Yep, I see Omega. Gonna be. Ooh! Sensui wins it! Has got a level advantage, anyways. And whatever that Omega invested into that bottom lane, it's now erased. They went in for the kill onto OHEB, successful in doing that, and then they gave one turret to Kelra. But that's all erased now because OHEB himself gets the turret, and now they get more kills.
All right, Chopper with a shrub. Who's he going to be able to find? Divine Judgment.
Oh,
and Renegade again! Revenge into a rage! The Heart Guard's going to drop onto Kelra, but Andori looks like he's not going to be able to get away anymore from the members of Blacklist. Take him out! And Omega, little by little, the things they have built for themselves, the investment that you mentioned is going away. Chakra with a pull-up to Sensui to stop them from stealing away the purple buff of Omega. But here comes the members of Blacklist International. The kill on the Chaknu by Renegade. And a kill by Oheb on Toripo. The Hitman, Agent 47, Renegade, keeps finding the mark.
That's gotta hurt. This is the nature of the lineup of Blacklist International. You have rotation, you have quicker movement speed, you have that sustain. The big beefy build isn't now showing, Wolf. Do they have more sustain now against Omega?
Not at this point for sure. And now the Angela mid lane is not paying off. They don't have the necessary wave period. That's why they're struggling to contain the members of Blacklist. And Blacklist have amplified the Ube. They have now been grouping up as 4 very quickly, activating OF. Even before the 7-minute mark, they're already able to run down the members of Omega. And Omega wanted to farm more, but Blacklist International, they're not giving the time to Omega.
So we roll it.
Daddy enters! Revenge into rage, finding Ribo. And the tower's gonna fall next. Chaknu trying to find an angle. As Ryota and Andorio hold on for dear life, and Kelra just tries to split push up top.
Okay, slowly Chakra is looking for an avenue, but now Renegade onto that landed of the Tyrant's Rage. Perfect hugs, perfect landings right onto the wall. That is the power of their own lineup. They have so much CC and hold, and even damage from Oheb.
Yeah.
They're just crossing all the problems right now with Smart Omega. And how is the damage right now of the Barangay Wolf?
Yeah.
Is it even enough?
Not
to have
enough.
more team fights.
They don't have it. This is Angela mid lane. Had it been like a Farsa, for example, which was of course taken out by Blacklist International, the Farsa is
Oh, and entry coming in from Renegade. Gavin is getting pulled back by Chaknu. The Kufra gets punished, but look at Sensui! Sensui in the back, taken down, or stopping 4 members there. Kelra has been taken down, and Blacklist just keep finding wins. Every time Omega tries, Blacklist somehow just counters them.
And that is just almost 9 minutes. And they completely moved around so quickly, and the damage right now being respected by Smart Omega. And they're finding ways to push, they're finding ways to the trade, and there is a pause. How is the situation of the Barangay now, Wolf, again?
well, they have severe lack of damage for sure. We're talking about Nuke Mages like Farsa, that's not available for Omega. Had it been that they picked it up earlier in combination with the Kacha, that would be different. And also, there was that option of going for something like Kadira or maybe even Lilia for Rebo, right? Anything that can work against Blacklist International, because clearly the Angela doesn't work. It does not even sustain their composition because it's far too slow. And the damage, I would say that the nature of damage sources coming out from Blacklist International are burst in nature.
Yeah.
So you can see Bruno, for example, it can hit you real hard. They have the Valentina that copies the Martis. It's all about damage, like in quick succession. It's one thing that the lineup of Omega is not built to endure.
Yeah, this, what we're seeing from Blacklist, this isn't the Ube that we know. This is a more painful Ube. It's more like a Ube.
A deeper.
Yeah, because the damage just hurts.
Yeah, man, it's a purple yam bonding extra experience.
That's a long acronym.
Yeah.
We'll workshop it. We'll workshop
We're
it.
chopping and we're trying.
Yeah.
And to go back on the point of Wolf there, Renmar,
Yeah.
how can Omega endure? I can only see BOD on that Beatrix. I can only see Bloodless Ass on that Paquito. This is just completely a Barangay Omega waiting for time, buying time, even for their market, comparing it to Oheb's status right now.
For sure. We may even call it an Uber.
Oh, Ube.
Not the brand, but
I like it.
Uber as in like
Okay.
superlative, you know?
Okay.
Ultimate
Bonding experience remix.
Love it.
Okay.
That's it.
This is the Uber
The Uber.
stat, ladies and
You're
gentlemen.
so good. You guys are so good. Just happy to be here right now. It's Sunday, and it's Blacks International on the lead, 6.4K. No contention. And Omega is eyeing for possible ways, even trade for occasions such as the objectives. But no when they're coming near that borderline as Black International is doing from that objective take.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing Omega can do at that point, and they made the right call. They didn't need to like try and take it away from them. At that point, you really just have to try and get objectives elsewhere, get resources elsewhere, and then just hold back for the next Lord. This shouldn't be endable yet, unless a major error from Omega happens.
Look at Blacklist International freezing the lanes. They wanted to make sure that it will be a three-pronged attack. Top lane not going to be able to be defended by Paquito. Not safe there, Ryota. The mid lane, here they go.
This is getting scarier by the second.
Ryota defended. That's a mistake.
They're gonna chase him down.
Oh, sprint already utilized. Are they going to continue chasing Ryota? They're still trying to look for him.
Wow.
He's the Crammer. He's at the orange buff, and it looks like he's going to wait scot-free. They are not able to. Oh, but here comes Oheb. Oh, no.
He just wanted to get that.
Yeah, I just wanted to get
I think that was also a great pull, by the way, that he did. He was trying to look for ways to divert the attention of Black International, and completely for half of a second he did something good.
Nope. Very important wave clear. We did say that it will be a mistake, but Ryota's Ryota, and I didn't realize that he actually rocked the sprint instead of the flicker. That's the sole reason why he got out of there.
Yeah, and I think that's also one of the reasons why he picked it up, knowing that there's so many surprise possible engages and things to avoid. Going for extra movement speed to try and sidestep it seems like a little bit more trustworthy than just having one big blink skill to get away.
I guess so.
Yeah, but just looking at the item build right now by FLD Insurance, I see
Man.
fleeting time here for Chaco. And I think I'm surprised the defense, Wolf. I think it's not even close to even hold something out of Black International.
At this point for Omega, any port in the storm, right? They are just trying to get anything that they can. Maybe you can argue that there could be a different defensive item for Chapno perhaps, but at the same time, he's not getting access to it anyways. Omega, it's just like they're living for scraps now.
Oh, let's see if they can find Edward already committed the flicker and the Primal Wrath just to get out of safety. And Omega are going to have to back off here. Can't believe we got to this point just because Omega decided to overstay their welcome.
Another upper.
Oh, Noryu gets found here by Sensui. Oh, Renegade goes in. Oh, but the anti-crowd control, that's Martha's has. Can they find a turnaround here? Chop's not going to be committed to the Divine Judgment. The ultimate already by Kendra. And Noryu brought really low. Look at that damage coming out of that Bruno.
Wow, that's gotta hurt. That ball completely hurts by the second and by the damage. How will they ever hold this kind of threat from Black International? It is an 8.7k gold lead. There's a Lord again.
I hate to answer your question by using my previous answers. The lack of a nuke mage here for Omega is just gonna be a big problem. They need to really find a big opening with maybe the Paquito, which is actually the opposite side of the road. It's going for the long lane push.
Yeah.
This is bad for Omega.
All right, Sensui and Renegade. Turn to the back line.
Answer. This is the big boy lineup, and you have the Slane for Black International's take on that objective.
Oh, yeah, and while that was happening, Ryota, again, just doing what he can to make it work, pushing towers on the bottom portion of the map this time, and again, right now, in terms of trying to find a way to make a comeback out of it, Omega are doing the right thing. Trying to find a pick, can't find the pick, get on out of there. Get resources, and then let's see what else we can do. This might be a tough defense, though.
Definitely. This is the Lord with the turret dash. Turret clash, I mean.
Yeah, the headbutt.
Yep.
You have that push. You have the damage, but how will they ever hold? But that is the complete answer. But how will Black International commit a mistake, though?
Oh, entry there, no pull by Hachi with the Divine Judgment as a Valentina, pulling back as Noryu. He survives! Riva's Heart Guard holding on more than enough, and somehow, after all of that, Omega only loses a tower in mid. Ryota is cutting waves behind Blacklist International.
Wow, man.
That usage.
The doctor is in, and Ryota just being the, it's like him just applying all that he learned from the Onyx Banana Split era.
Oh, yeah.
Literally that.
Banana Split Season 8.
Yeah, thank you for that callback.
Oh my goodness.
Also, the writer of our battle is also here with us, somewhere in the talent area.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, and this is just completely a different hold for Omega. The deficit of almost 10k they're probably looking for ways to even capitalize more of what they have right now. Even with just by small defense, small damage, but they have the pull though. Items completely building in. This is a good difference even for damage for the VHX right now.
They still have to respect Omega because of the Omega timers that we always talk about. 18-minute, of course, the late game, the combat killings whatsoever. You have one half of the Jack to Max duo that always is scary in these clutch moments. So Blacklist International, smart to be more, how to say, more safe, controlled. Yeah, I guess.
Cautious.
Cautious, there you go. Safe to be cautious in this game.
Yeah, despite the massive lead that they have built, again, making the most out of an Omega error to overstay their welcome and duke it out with two members of Blacklist International after getting to gank Oheb in the bottom lane. They just haven't lost sight. It's like, it's classic Blacklist, what we're seeing here. In terms of, all right, close game, very tight game. We'll find one opening and then make it even bigger. They find the door and they make it a massive hole in your house.
By just hearing that sentences, it's too hard to even have a fixer-upper right away.
Yeah, it is. It's really difficult. How long does it take to fix an entire a massive hole in your house? A long time. There's a lot of permits. You got to go through construction, find a good contractor.
You need money?
You need money.
Yep, you need to have liquid. Yeah, but it's a good point there to ponder about because we've seen games today, even the first series of this Sunday, that with a 10K gold deficit, with just a small mistake, everything could just be turned around.
Yeah.
And I know you guys agree that at some point in a late game potential scale of Smart Omega's lineup, there is always hope for this team to actually bounce back.
Exactly. That's the magic of the Comeback Kings, right? Of Omega. Whatever is happening in there, whatever kind of like a mental fortitude that they have, or maybe I'd never say the attitude of the Barangay Omega, we probably will never know. I'll spend forever wondering if you guys knew about it.
Wow. That sounds familiar. Anyways, so for Omega, I agree with you completely there, Wolf, with that enchanting analysis, is that you really can never count them out. Somehow, some way, they find a way. They've done it against Blacklist International in the previous iterations many times in the past. And that's why, again, this rich rivalry is the one that just keeps on giving.
Yes, sir.
That is true.
But I really wish we had a new page. I mean, I just really gotta go back to what Wolf keeps like harping on here, because it's true.
Yeah, it is true.
Okay, as we wait for this pause to continue, we're back in the game. A few seconds away, Blacklist International is leading by 9 points on our scoreboard, and Smart Omega is still holding onto their base and looking for a way to bounce back on what they have lost in the first game of the series.
Wow. Such a fantastic game so far. Of course, we've been highlighting Renegade, but I think an unsung hero here definitely is Haji on his Valentina. With how well he times his entries alongside Renegade's entries and Sensui as well.
Oh, look at the wraparound.
Oh, Ryota, he's gonna be dire straits. Oh, that's a full 5-man. That's the Uber onto Ryota. And the Paquito falls. And you won't find a contestant, but here in the mid lane, looks like they found the box show. Smart Omega, Sensui only gets brought down to around 40% health. And that's Omega back in tracking back, and Blacklist for sure gonna get this Lord without a problem, the third one in this game.
Yeah, they forced an ultimate onto Regal, hard guard onto Ryota. One member isolated from Smart Omega, and that gave way for Blacklist International to have this Lord again for themselves. And they're gonna go and clear some of the lanes here as they go with the Lord.
You understand why Ryota wanted to go for that lane cut? This time, Blacklist International won't let him escape for the second time around. And we are in consensus now that there's really not much of a leeway for Omega to actually contest any Lord at this point, unless they take out the members of Blacklist International first. But seeing as we are talking about the Uber, where Blacklist International are just grouping up and not letting anyone get out, there's really no chance for Omega to pick off the members of Blacklist. It should be a full 5v5 with Blacklist International winning the lane advantage.
And another orange stolen. by Blacklist International. No objectives for Omega, not even crumbs to follow.
Okay,
to get back on their feet, but they're onto the base defense.
All right, the Lord almost brought down to 50. The tower's going to be falling. We're going to be looking for an entry here from any member of Blacklist International. Omega just doing their chores and clearing up the minion waves. Bennett's rate to clear up the minion waves. No ultimate from the Beatrix. Minion waves handled well, but Blacklist have made the Omega base bald.
It's open, and with a wave clear that Kelra has right now, it's still standing. The base is still standing, but it's too open.
Man, that was very anticlimactic. Of all of the hype that we were building up with that push coming up from Blacklist,
Yeah.
the defense from Omega is still there. It looked wonderful though, don't get me wrong. It was very systematic on how Omega was able to defend that base against Blacklist International. No overextensions, just focusing on the minion wave. Kelra just focusing on the Bennett. And they're able to hang on for now. But you're right, Renmar, they don't have any more inhibitor turrets. And then, you know, their base not having any more inhibitors means that minion wave management is going to be difficult.
Yeah, team fight. We're looking at the faces of Blacklist Nationals, and now they're completely on to the seriousness of this match. And also for Smart Omega, looking for a way to turn this around. Time will only be the answer. We're at 19 minutes with a scoring of 2 and 10. Is the late game? Is the late game an answer for the Underground Kings to bounce back?
We're waiting for it. I'm looking at the magic number 52. But I think Blacklist also knows something, that they really don't want to take that massive risk. I think at this point, with how systematic their clearing of the towers were, they also understand, and I think they're also thinking, guys, Omega timers, Omega timers. We have to watch out for Omega timers.
Yeah, kind of check that out.
Respect is there.
Yeah, it's overly cautious, but it's so warranted. They've been against Omega so many times.
Yep.
That they're just respecting it now.
Imagine a world where Renegade is the leader and everybody's just disciplined and calculated, you know?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Would have thought. But then, I mean, like, leading up to the season, and even last season, we really heard, like, Renegade is one of the more vocal members of Blacklist International. And I think it speaks a lot about the man's character to step into the shoes of the queen.
Yeah.
And to be this leader that the team needs in this moment. Blacklist International will get the 4th Lord of the game. 20 minutes in, and Ryota continues to split the towers. But he's just gonna let the siege minion. Oh no,
okay.
It survives. He really didn't want to take the risk. He knew that they needed him alive.
Yeah, he could have died from that position, and he decided to go and clear back. Yeah, I think that's one point to ponder upon, man. I think the growth of the players right now in Season 12 is so different, and they want to be mature on how they wanted to approach the game.
Blacklist International even deployed 5 of their members to clear that lord despite their lead. Uber is real, guys. We're seeing it.
Ultimate Bonding Experience Remix. A 20-minute Lord defense with a massive lead. Omega, if they get out of this, it will be a miracle. Blacklist can they end over champion from out of nowhere to pull up the Renegade. The Kufra, the Tyrant's Rage is massive help and setup, and the follow-up isn't quite there yet. Kelra stays alive. Kelra gets a flicker away from Edward. Sasui is looking at it, throwing Dory and Chaco and Ryota behind the scenes, and they find Oheb. The Kaja is down. That is 2 down the side of Blacklist off Omega. Make that 3, and Blacklist says, game 1 is ours. Let's not extend it any further. We got this.
And that is the Uber. The winning moment is brought to you by our official sponsor, FWD Life Insurance.